Hey, Chris. One more thing, Chris. You know?
Wait till you
You
sit.
do it, Bill.
Now 6:30, the February 5th work study session will begin. We'll start first actually with the proclamation, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. Proclamation for the declaration of Black History Month. Whereas during Black History Month, we celebrate the many achievements and contributions made by African Americans to our economy, cultural, spiritual, and political development. And whereas Black History Month grew out of an establishment in 1926, a Negro History Week by Carter G. Woodson and the Association of the Studies of African American Life and History. And whereas the observance of Black History Month calls our attention to build a society that lives up to its democratic ideals. And whereas the city of Southgate continues to work toward becoming an inclusive community in which all citizens, past, present, and future, are respected and recognized for their contributions and potential contributions to our community, the state and country and world. Whereas the city of Southgate is proud to honor the history and contributions of African Americans in our community throughout our state and nation. Now therefore, in recognition of African Americans past and present in our community and throughout the great nation, I, Joseph Cuspa, Mayor of the city of Southgate, do hereby proclaim February to be Black History Month. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. All right, we can do the police department awards, please, Mr. Mayor and Director. Police chief as well.
Good afternoon, thank you. Since we started the accreditation program a couple of years ago, one of the things that we've done as a department is try to put an emphasis on departmental awards and recognizing our officers and the good work that they do. Two of the big awards that we have are a culmination of the work that they do over a span of the entire year. So two of the awards that we wanted to recognize today for the achievements of two out of these officers throughout 2024 are our Rookie of the Year Award is what we'll start with first. And that officer is Officer Juan Pablo Gomez Llanos. He started his career with us in May of 2024 after going to the Wayne County Regional Police Academy. He was sponsored by our department, did very well at the police academy, and while he was there, he was actually chosen to read the Code of Ethics at the culmination of his graduation ceremony. He's been praised by his supervisors for his role within our department and his eagerness to learn and learn his profession in law enforcement and get training. And so we wanted to recognize him based on the feedback we received from our supervisors, our command staff, and our other officers, patrol officers that have worked with Juan Pablo since he's been with our department. So, Juan Pablo, in recognition of your outstanding dedication and commitment to serving the citizens of Southgate and the Southgate Police Department during the first year of service, you have been chosen Rookie of the Year for calendar year 2024. You are being awarded the Rookie of the Year ribbon.
Thank you.
One other thing to mention about Officer Juan Pablo is that he's in the Army National Guard. So on top of the service for the city, he's still an active member of the National Guard. And recently we just had a conversation. I don't know if he's going to continue his service, but I think he is. But it's a lot of dedication that he's provided to not only us, but the United States as well. The next is the Officer of the Year. And this one is one that is important to us to recognize out of the collection of great officers that we have, one that really stands out. And that is Officer Thomas McClure. The important things here about him is he is just an overall team player. Anything we ask, he does.
Recently, within the last couple of years, Lincoln Park School District came to us regarding Beacon when they took over those services. And we were looking for a school resource officer to take over that position, and that was not a highly sought after position. Tom stepped up, and he came to us and said, "I'll do it. How long is it?" And I said, 1 year. And then that got extended. A couple weeks into that assignment, he said, "Listen, this is a lot more than I wanted." But it's not just that. Now Tom, since he completed a year and a half with Lincoln Park and us in Beacon, in a pretty chaotic environment at times. He did a tremendous job. The relationships that he's built with the staff members there, the students at the school, the parents, they were contacting us and just overall very appreciative of his service. Outside of that, he has been a police officer with us for 7 years now, and one that we don't get complaints from. He's always there and does a tremendous job for us. Recently, he just got selected by the DEA to be our task force officer with the Drug Enforcement Administration. That was an interview that we allowed them just to conduct. So they interviewed several of our police officers. They were looking for a task force officer from our department to join them. And Tom was selected through that interview process. So he just started up right at the end of December. I think it was December 23rd, he got out to the DEA. So he's fresh in that assignment. So in recognition of your outstanding dedication and commitment to serving the citizens of Southgate and the Southgate Police Department, we have chosen you through the recommendation of many of our command officers and also the chief and I to be this year's Officer of the Year. Thank you for your service.
I'm in the middle.
You okay? Yeah. All right. And Dan? All right.
Growing up too fast.
I don't even know my code, so that's why I need it.
I know my code.
He's got a nice family.
Hey, that comes with a parking spot too.
All right.
If you're at the parking spot across Dick, park.
I didn't have this at me next, like, please.
Probably. That's true.
Great, great.
I'll get you in the
Probably great.
Yes. It's
Moving on to the officials' reports, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, just a comment, just terrific news on these two officers, but of course, our entire officer staff, because, you know, as I mentioned in the State of the City, we still rank among the top 15% of law enforcement agencies in the state of Michigan, and they're all to be commended for that. So great news tonight, but again, for the whole force. Last Thursday, I did have the honor of presenting the 2025 State of the City Address to our residents, business leaders, and elected officials. Once again, the Southgate Rotary did a wonderful job organizing the event and promoting their scholarship program. Proceeds of the luncheon will benefit our Southgate Anderson graduating seniors. As with any event, there are a lot of individuals who contributed to the success of the program. I'd like to thank the Southgate Anderson Junior ROTC for the presentation and retirement of the colors. Their presence really added to the pomp and circumstance of the event. To Father Bob McCabe of Divine Child Parish for his inspirational invocation and benediction, and Christine Steves for her beautiful rendition of our national anthem. Also to the City of Taylor Tech Team for their assistance in live streaming and recording the address, or recording the address. We had our current, or the one that used to do it, told us about a week before they couldn't do it, and Taylor came to our rescue, so we appreciate that. And of course, to our city attorney, Ed Zelnak, for emceeing the event. Ed's one of a kind when it comes to emceeing downriver, so we're going to have him there as well. I would also like to acknowledge City Council President Zoe Cuspa for her presentation of the Business Awards. This year's awardees were Pay More for New Business of the Year, Sam's Club for Best Facade Improvement, Trentwood Market for Community Engagement, Gill's Plumbing for the Longevity Award, having been in Southgate for 65 years, and Goodfellas Landscaping, they were the People Choice Award. Joining our council president and representing the city of Southgate were City Clerk Jan Ferenz and council members Priscilla Ayers-Reese, Ed Golick, and Victoria Arridge. Since our state legislature was in session that day, we did have representatives, though, from Congressman Tullio Liberati and Riley Linting. Wayne County also has sent 5 representatives, including the Chief of Staff, Brian Reinhardt, and Director of Economic Development, Hassan Sheikh. I would also like to acknowledge the fact that we had 2 other mayors, and I was very appreciative, 200 downriver mayors, that from Lincoln Park and Riverview. In all, we had over 200 individuals attending the address, which was a 20% increase over last year. If you were not able to attend this year's address, it is available on our city website and Facebook page, and will be summarized, as I understand, in numerous articles in local papers. 2014 was indeed another remarkable year for our city, and this year will continue that trend. One of the highlights of the address was the announcement of a $22.8 million federal grant award to assist with the Barberry Relief Sewer. Basement flooding in that part of town has been very problematic for the past few decades. The last major flood was in 2014, at which time over 2,900 homes and 6,000 residents were negatively impacted. That's about 20% of our population. So this is by far the largest grant ever received by the city of Southgate. And I'd like to thank the Michigan State Police, Hennessy Engineering, and my executive staff, Dan Marsh and Doug Drysdale, for their work and collaboration on this vitally important infrastructure project. With this latest grant, the city of Southgate has been awarded over $36 million in grants for 2025. Our entire general fund budget is about $30 million, which means that for every general tax dollar paid by our residents and businesses, this community will receive over $2 in benefits. As I've said since the start of my administration, working together will produce exceptional results. Southgate will remain a premier community to live, work, and raise a family. As a member of the DCC Board, Downriver Community Conference Board of Directors, I'm extremely pleased to announce another significant program that is available to the 20 communities DCC represents. This latest program is their Community Service Project, or CSP. CSP is funded through a federal grant awarded through the Department of Labor and allows communities to get certain employees their trainings fully reimbursed. There's a $4,000 cap per employee, but this program will go a long way in assisting our employees with much needed training. Southgate currently has 5 employees in our DPS and 14 firefighters utilizing the benefits of this unique program. We are currently looking to add additional employees as circumstances allow. I commend the DCC leadership and CSP project coordinator Michael McLean for securing this program for our DCC communities. Once again, our elementary students have provided hundreds of colorful Valentines for display in our lobby area and obviously here in City Council chambers. These young artists are from Grogan and Ford Line Elementary Schools. This is the 15th year that our students have participated in the My Hearts in Southgate Valentine display. Special thanks to art teachers Greg Luna and Lynn Costas for coordinating this project. The student Valentines will remain up through the week of the 17th. And lastly, as we all celebrate Valentine's Day next Friday, please consider patronizing one of our fabulous Southgate restaurants or eateries. We have a whole wide assortment ready to meet any Valentine's dining wishes. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
No report, thank you.
Mr. Treasurer?
Good evening. Just that your winter taxes are due on Valentine's Day. February 14th is the deadline, so that is all. Happy Valentine's Day.
Councilman Erich?
No report.
Councilman Roush?
No report.
Councilman Graziani?
No report.
Okay, the school board did meet. They discussed the language for the May election, that they're gonna have, the language on their ballot. Also, they amended their fiscal year, 2025. There was also appreciation for the school board from Grogan Elementary students, some words and tokens of appreciation. And they also honored the Grogan Robotics team because they are state qualifiers, so they'll be moving on. Councilman George?
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Commission on Aging meets tomorrow. The Case Commission will be meeting next Tuesday. I will give a heads up that the seniors are having a St. Patrick's Day party on March 13th. The last couple of parties have been pretty full, so if you're interested, you can register and call Diane at 734-258-3066. And also, it's that time of year for taxes. And the New Points Church on Reek Road is doing free preparation services for downriver residents, primarily senior citizens and those with low income. You must make a reservation, and appointments can be made at the phone number 734-288-8105. It's free. You must have an appointment, and they will be doing it through April 9th. Also, I would like to tell the mayor, I'm really sorry that I wasn't able to attend the State of the City. I think you know why. I did watch it. It was truly remarkable, all that we have done, all of our accomplishments, thanks to you and our wonderful staff. It was so remarkable. I mean, you just went on and on and on, that we've done so much. We are truly the jewel and the envy of Downriver. And that's all I have, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Ayers-Reese?
Thanks, Madam Chair. No report.
Councilman Gulick?
No report this evening.
All right, Mr. Marsh, please, for the agenda.
Thank you, Madam President. The first item under Communications A is regarding the proposed schedule for the fiscal year 2025-2026 budget process. The budget includes the budget workshop, the public hearing for the budget, and the scheduled adoption of the budget. Are there any questions from council? Okay, the next item on the agenda is the annual request for resolutions for public hearings for the Southgate Wyandotte operations and maintenance capital special assessment costs and the water and sewer rates. The administration is recommending each public hearing take place during the regularly scheduled city council meeting on May 7th. For that item, we'd be looking for two separate resolutions, one for each public hearing. Are there any questions from council on that? Moving on, the next item is a request to waive the bid and award CHOP Tree Services a 2-year extension for tree and stump removal. CHOP was awarded the bid in 2023, and they've agreed to maintain their prices for another 2 years. Are there any questions from council? Seeing none. Next is a request to use the city's approved plumbing contractor, Quint Plumbing, to make repairs to City Hall roof drains. Currently, there's a leak causing a ceiling tile damage in front of the Finance Department and administrative offices. Are there any questions from council regarding that item?
Through the chair.
Councilman Gulick?
The highlighted section of the quote from Quint says there's a 15-day estimate, or 15 days for the estimate, but there's no date on the invoice.
I think that's a standard. They were aware that it would be brought before council on today's date.
Thank you.
The next item is a request to waive the bid and extend the contract with STEP for City Hall cleaning services. STEP was previously awarded the bid, and they've agreed to keep their prices the same for the year 2025. Are there any questions from council regarding the cleaning services? Okay, seeing none, the final item is the approval of expenses for the emergency water main repairs conducted last month using RJ&J. RJ&J assisted us with a total of 4 water main breaks going into that deep freeze and then coming back out. All the invoices are included in the packet. Are there any questions from council?
Madam Chairman,
Councilman Roush?
I just have a question. I mean, and I'm only asking this because in years past when an emergency thing like happened, this obviously doesn't happen very much. Did you know have we used this company before?
We have used them once in 2023 for an emergency excavation in front of Safe Flight. They came in when there was a water main break there. It was too deep for our guys to get. I think it was like 17 or 18 feet deep, and so we called them in for emergency at that time as well.
I mean, and the mayor might know better than because the reason I'm asking is because in past times I thought we were called because that's a lot of money to spend right now. And in past times I thought we were called and kind of give it like a yes or no type thing, even though it's like a verbal. I mean, from what I remember, I think it might have been the past administration that we did it, and just because so that we kind of knew what was going on. Because like I said, right now we have. I mean, what if 4 of us were anti water main break type thing? You know what I'm saying? And 4 of us said no. You know what I'm saying? It just seemed a lot of money, and they just thought for us to be able to come a phone call and go, hey, we're spending this much money. It's like, you know, if that makes sense.
Did you get the email? Did you get the email?
Yeah,
I did, but I didn't have the dollar amount. I was just curious. Like,
yeah. At the time that I sent out the email, we didn't know how many there was going to be. They were taking additional water main breaks. In fact, I believe I sent it out on a Tuesday, and that following day there were 6 more water main breaks. So it was just they were happening so quickly. The need to get them repaired quickly was important as well as you guys obviously understand. There's water loss when you let one go, and there could be lack of service to different areas of the city. So because they got so overwhelmed in that short period of time, we brought them in. Again, I don't believe we've used them in this circumstance. I know we've used them in the past, back in 2023 when there was a very, very deep excavation that needed to happen. As far as water main breaks, so that's not something that we typically have used them for when it's in this circumstance. So, we reached out. We want to let you know that we have to make the move on this one, and once it was all
someone
said
made a
and done.
comment that there might be another deep freeze coming. I'm like, oh God, I hope we don't go back to the water main breaks. But okay,
Yeah.
that's I just wanted to curious because like in the past they actually had called and said, hey, this is what we're going to spend it, or maybe a follow up email said, hey, this is because this is a lot. When I looked at it, I was like, oh Lord, that's a lot of money to spend. So, but thank you.
Okay.
Through the chair.
Councilman Golick?
I was unaware what the cost would be as well, and as a relatively new council person, I don't know if you could have even given us what you thought the amount might have been. But I just wanted to thank the DPS and their workers for working, some of them 24 hours a day in zero weather, and you getting the union to agree to go with the outside contractor, saving the city money in the water bill and getting the residents back online. Appreciate the effort of everybody involved.
Thank you.
No, I appreciate the comments made. I mean, obviously, we were kind of dealing with the situation as it rose, and the focus was obviously getting our residents back up and running with water. That was a key priority of the decisions that were made. But if we can in the future provide some more kind of estimates, or even after the emergency situation, before the meeting, to know what before you get your packets,
Right,
your
appreciate
comments are appreciated.
Through the chair.
Councilman Ayers Reese?
Is there any type of, like, if the same water main breaks happen, do they charge us again? It's just,
As far as
It's
like
if they're
warranties
not
on the work that they're
prepared
doing,
correctly, like if it was something with what they did.
I would have to look into see if the exact sleeve. Now, there's a problem though. Often with water mains, you'll put a sleeve on one section and 2 houses down. It's all the same age, and it can happen there. So sometimes there is a street that might have, by the end of the winter, have 3 water main breaks, over the course of a block. That could happen.
Talking same
But
section.
the exact same section. I would have to check to see if with the warranty or the guarantee is on that. And maybe John, with RJ&J, do you know if is there a guarantee on a certain amount of time for the actual sleeve that they put on?
Through the chair, we do guarantee that they repair, they give us a guarantee of 2 years for that particular repair, but you could have a repair, a crack 7 feet down from that particular sleeve. And I would also allow the council to know that RJ&J is somewhat a bid sharing. They're under contract with the city of Lincoln Park for emergency repairs as well as low bids, so that's why we also utilize them when their DPW is overwhelmed. And we did particularly recommend that we use them during deep excavations because that is a unique situation that our DPW doesn't encounter every day, and there's a lot of danger involved with that. So we look to offload that liability in a sense to a company that's more familiar with that.
Madam Chair, and just to follow up on that, did they have the walls that go down deep?
They do.
We don't have that. in
They're,
our-
they're used to deep excavations day in and day out, and our DPW is not as much.
I'm definitely not taking away from all that they did.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
Right, understandable, yep.
If there are no more questions or comments, we'll reconvene at 7 o'clock.
Nice job.
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Graziani,
Present.
Councilman George.
Here.
Councilman Roush.
Here.
Councilman Ayers Reese,
Present.
Councilman Golick.
Here.
Councilman Erich,
Present.
Councilman Cuspa.
Here. I need a motion to approve the work study meeting minutes dated January 15th, 2025.
Madam Chair,
Councilman Ayers Reese.
I make a motion that we approve the work study meeting minutes dated January 15, 2025.
Support.
Motion by Ayers Reese, supported by Roush. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Need a motion to approve the regular city council meeting minutes dated January 15th, 2025.
Madam Chairman,
Councilman Roush.
I make a motion we approve the regular city council meeting dated January 15th, 2025.
Support.
Motion by Roush, supported by Graziani. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Last, need a motion to approve the public hearing meeting minutes dated January 15th, 2025.
Madam Chair,
Councilman Ayers Reese.
I make a motion that we approve the public hearing meeting minutes dated January 15, 2025.
Support.
Motion by Ayers Reese, supported by Golick. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. There are no scheduled persons in the audience, no consideration of bids, and no scheduled hearings. First item under Communications A is a memo from the Finance Director regarding proposed schedule for fiscal year 25-26 budget process. Madam Clerk.
The following schedule is proposed regarding the process for review and approval of the budget for fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2025. The budget workshop Saturday, April 12th, 2025 at 8 a.m. Public hearing on budget Wednesday, May 7th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Adoption of budget by City Council on Wednesday, May 21st, 2025 at 7 p.m. A resolution authorizing the establishing of such dates is requested.
What's the pleasure of the council?
Madam Chair,
Councilman George.
I move to approve the proposed budget schedule for fiscal year 2025 on Saturday, April 12th at 8 a.m. You said we need two motions. Is the other motion for the public hearing and the adoption? Okay, so I'm doing the one just for the budget workshop on Saturday, April 12th at 8 a.m.
Wait, this is the first.
No,
This is the first.
I think you're talking about what.
This
we're
is
gonna
just
do
one
next.
motion to approve the process.
Oh,
You're
what am I on?
the first item.
Got it.
That is.
Yeah, so this is just doing the budget process. The item number 2 will be the two different dates for the public hearing.
Well, that's what I said. I
Yeah,
want to
just
make
one
the
motion.
motion for the budget workshop, and then we can vote on that. And then do we need a separate motion for the public hearing and the adoption?
That's the
Yeah,
second
through the
item.
chair,
The
we
second
can,
item.
yeah, through the chair, we can have one motion to approve the budget process,
second.
which includes the public
Right,
hearing.
all right. I didn't realize you broke it down on the agenda.
Okay, so we
thank
had a
you.
motion by George,
Support.
motion by George, supported by Ayers Reese. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Next is a memo from the Finance Director regarding the request for public hearings. Madam Clerk.
As in previous years, the administration is requesting the city council schedule a public hearing for Wednesday, May 7th, 2025 for the Southgate Wyandotte operation maintenance and a public hearing for Wednesday, May 7th, 2025 for water and sewer rates. The May 7th hearing for the Southgate Wyandotte operations maintenance is required in order to entertain views and comments from interested individuals regarding the special assessment costs associated with the Southgate Wyandotte operation and maintenance and capital improvement charges. The May 7th hearing for the water and sewer rates is required in order to entertain comments from interested individuals regarding the proposed water and sewer rates to become effective July 1st, 2025. Your favorable consideration in this matter is therefore requested.
I'll entertain a motion for the first public hearing.
Madam Chair,
Councilman George.
I make a motion that we set a public hearing for May 7th for the Southgate Wyandotte Operations Maintenance meeting.
Support.
Motion by George, supported by Golick. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion for the second date.
Madam Chairman,
Councilman Roush.
I make a motion that we approve the May 7th public hearing for the water and sewer rates.
Support. Support.
Motion by Roush, supported by Erich. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Next is a letter from the mayor regarding tree and stump removal. Madam Clerk.
It is recommended by the DPS Director, and I concur, that the contract for tree and stump removal be extended for a 2-year period with Chopped Tree Services. The contract will commence January 1st, 2025, and expire December 31st, 2026, for services at their current fee schedule. Funds for this contract award are derived from the general fund and the local street fund. Your favorable consideration of this matter is requested.
What's the pleasure of the council?
Madam Chairman,
Councilman Roush?
I make a motion, we waive the bid process and approve 2-year extension with Chopped Tree Services commencing January 1st, 2025 and expiring December 31st, 2026 for tree removal maintenance services at their current fee schedule under the original contract awarded January 18th, 2023.
Support.
Motion by Roush, supported by George. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Next is a letter from the mayor regarding proposal for City Hall roof drains repair. Madam Clerk.
It is recommended by the Director of Public Services, and I concur with his recommendation, to approve the proposal from Quint Plumbing and Heating of Wyandotte for repairs to the City Hall roof drains in the amount of $5,400. Quint Plumbing is the city-approved contractor for plumbing services. Sufficient funds are available in the general fund budget to cover costs associated with this. Your favorable consideration of this matter is requested.
What's the pleasure of the council?
Madam Chair,
Councilman Ayers?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the proposal from Quint Plumbing and Heating Incorporated for repairs to the City Hall roof drains in the amount of $5,400.
Support.
Motion by Ayers, supported by Roush. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Next is a letter from the mayor regarding janitorial services for City Hall. Madam Clerk.
It is recommended by the city administrator, and I concur with his recommendation to extend the contract for janitorial services at City Hall with services to enhance potential of Dearborn for a period of 1 year expiring January 31st, 2026, at the current rate of $1,320 per month. Sufficient funds are available in the general fund budget to cover costs associated with this bid. Your favorable consideration of this matter is requested.
What's the pleasure of the council?
Madam Chair,
Councilman Ayers?
I move that we waive the bid process and extension with services to enhance potential STEP through January 31st, 2026 for City Hall janitorial services at their current rate of $1,320 per month.
Motion by Ayers, supported by Ayers Reese. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Last is a memo from the administrator regarding emergency purchase of water main repair services. Madam Clerk.
On January 28th and 29th of 2025, the Southgate Water Department experienced a series of water main breaks that occurred within a short time frame. In order to quickly restore service to residents and stop water loss, RJ&J Excavating was called in to assist. RJ&J worked on 4 water main breaks for a total cost of $32,465.24. This was an unprecedented circumstance, and it is not expected to continue in the future. Prior to engaging with RJ&J, the city received approval from Union TPOAM 2018 to bring in additional help. Funds are available from water and sewer funds.
What's the pleasure of the council?
Madam Chair,
Councilman Gollak.
make a motion to approve the emergency purchase of water main repair services from RJ&J Enterprises in the amount of $32,465.24.
Support.
Motion by Gollak, supported by George. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. There are no items under communications B, and there's no ordinances. Is there any old business the council would like to discuss? Seeing none, is there any new business the council would like to discuss? Seeing none, we'll move on to unscheduled persons in the audience. If you'd like to address council, please come to the podium, state your name and address. You'll have 3 minutes. Seeing none, we'll move on to claims and accounts. Councilman Roush.
Move to approve warrant 1514 in the amount of $7,491,207.99.
Support.
Motion by Roush, supported by George. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Madam Chair,
Councilman Ayers Reese.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
Motion by Ayers Reese, supported by Gollak. Any discussion or